Welcome to Medigap TV, real answers about Medicare in plain English. Hi, I'm Lauren Marms, and I've been a licensed Medicare specialist for 17 years. One of the most common questions I get sounds simple, but the answer has a lot of moving parts. Can you switch from Medicare Advantage to a Medicare Supplement? The honest answer is yes, you can, but it isn't as simple as just signing up for something new. And if you do it in the wrong order, you can actually get yourself stuck. So let's walk through how it really works. Here's the short version. Switching from Advantage to a supplement is possible in every single state. So no matter where you live, the door is open. But it isn't automatic, and this is where people get tripped up. There are specific times when you can do it easily, and there are other times when it gets a lot harder. So the timing of your move matters a great deal. The first thing to understand is that every switch is really two separate steps, and each one has its own set of rules. Step one is getting out of your Advantage plan. Step two is getting approved for a supplement. Most people only think about step two, but step one has its own timing rules, and you have to handle both of them correctly for the switch to work. Let's start with getting out. You can't just drop your Advantage plan any day of the year. You can only leave during certain windows. The first is the Medicare Advantage open enrollment period, which runs from January through March. The second is the annual enrollment period, which runs from October 15th through December 7th. And in some situations, you may qualify for a special enrollment period that fits your circumstances. So before anything else, you have to be in one of those windows to make your exit. Now, here's the catch that most people don't see coming until it's too late. Getting out of Advantage is the easy part. Getting into a supplement is where it gets tricky, because in most states, once your very first enrollment window has closed, buying a supplement means going through medical underwriting. That means the insurance company can ask you health questions, they can charge you more based on your health, and they can even turn you down completely. So a supplement is never guaranteed just because you want one. The good news is there are a few situations where you can switch with no health questions at all, and these are worth knowing. The first is called a trial right. If you joined a Medicare Advantage plan when you first became eligible at 65, you get a full 12 months to try it out. If you decide within that first year that it isn't right for you, you can drop it, go back to original Medicare, and buy any supplement in your state with guaranteed approval, which means no health questions and no chance of being turned down. There's a second trial right for a slightly different situation. Let's say you had a Medicare supplement, and then you dropped it to try a Medicare Advantage plan for the very first time. In that case, you also get 12 months to change your mind. If you decide to go back, you can return to your old supplement if the company still offers it, or pick up a similar one, again with guaranteed approval. The key thing to remember is that this only works the first time you ever try Advantage. There are also a handful of other situations that give you guaranteed approval rights. If your Advantage plan leaves your area or ends its contract with Medicare, you're protected. If you move outside of your plan's service area, that counts too. And in these cases, you generally have a window of 63 days to apply for your supplement with no health questions. If you're finding this helpful, hit the like button and subscribe so you never miss a video. Now, if you're outside of all those special windows, here's the most important thing I can tell you. Before you touch your Advantage plan, find out where you actually stand. Every insurance company asks different health questions, and they each have different look-back periods on certain conditions. So a decline from one company doesn't mean every company would say no. This is exactly where an experienced agent earns their keep, because we can pre-screen you in just a few minutes and tell you whether passing underwriting is even realistic for your situation before you risk anything. And this leads to the single most important step in the whole process. Apply for your supplement first and get approved before you drop your Advantage plan. I can't stress this enough. If you cancel your Advantage plan first and then your supplement application gets denied, you can end up with nothing but original Medicare and no supplement coverage at all. When you do it the right way, the supplement company sets a future start date that lines up with when your Advantage plan ends, so you're never left with a gap. There's one more piece people forget about, and it's an important one. When you go back to original Medicare, you also need to think about your prescriptions. Original Medicare by itself does not include prescription drug coverage, so you'll need to pick up a separate Part 500 plan when you make the switch. If you're coming back through a trial right, you'll have a special enrollment period to get that drug plan in place. Let's bring it all together. Switching from Advantage to a supplement is absolutely possible, but the order of your steps is everything. If you're inside a trial right or a guaranteed issue window, the switch can be smooth and simple, but if you're outside those windows, the smart move is to get pre-screened first, so you never drop the coverage you have until you know you can replace it. If you're thinking about making this kind of change, the best thing you can do is talk it through with someone before you make a single move. You can call or text us at 920-545-4884, and we'll look at your specific situation and tell you honestly what's possible. Or if you'd like to set up a time, the link is in the description. Thank you, and we'll see you in the next video.